Hello, people. This is CTB back with another episode of the North American Beatbox podcast. Here today we have Black Rhythm, we have DJ Hershe, and we have Oso. So everybody, just say hi. What's up? You know what it is.
What up? What up?
Hey, people. What's going on?
What up, everybody? How we doing today?
Lit. Okay. So Hershe, this is your first time on the podcast. So
Yes,
let's
it
give
is. Thank you so much for having me.
a little introduction. Just anything about yourself. What you do, how you be, who you is.
Well, my name is Hershe, or DJ Hershe is more formally known. I'm from Boston. I am a professional DJ and a beatboxer. I've been beatboxing for 9 years now and DJing for 6.
Legend. She finna hit that 10-year mark soon, yo.
That's it.
Lord
That's it.
have
That's a
mercy.
wrap. That's a decade.
Yeah, that's a
True,
landmark right there.
Dude, I can't wait to hit that. I have like 3 more years.
Yeah, I have like fucking 8 more years to go, but it's okay.
That's wild, yeah. All right, guys. We're gonna do it because you guys know what it is. Cream Beatbox Battle's coming up soon, so we're gonna touch on that first because there were some recent developments. Those of you that may not have known, Zero was going to be competing, and
Right.
due to circumstances that I myself did not know, I'm assuming he was not able to make it for various reasons. Chris Solis, who for those that may not know, was tied with Zero for the wild card, as well as tied with Dr. Murr. And then Zero and Chris sent in secondary videos to get judged, and Zero was the one that took the spot. So with Zero being unable to make it, Chris is now taking his spot. So with the lineup now changed, what do you guys expect from Chris? And what do you guys expect from the competition in general?
I am so excited for Chris to be on that. He is so nasty. Oh my god. He's so clean. He's so technical. And the things he can do, I've seen him live a bajillion times, and every time he always does something a little bit different. And he's always slightly improving every single time I see him. And it's just, I'm excited for that, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie.
I agree. I'm actually excited to see Chris do a solo, participate in the Grand Beatbox Battle as a solo artist.
Yes.
Because I think that Chris doesn't get enough credit or enough love.
Agreed.
Totally
Agreed.
agree, dude. Totally agree.
As a beatboxer, and it's funny because I include myself in, or at least initially, in terms of how I used to see him and his skills, and versus how I see him now. I respect him a lot more, and so I think he's gonna bring a level of, I would say, just musicality and flow that's gonna be very him, and I always enjoy when unique artists step on that stage, and so I think it's gonna be honestly I think it's just gonna do really well, to be honest, and I think finally after a while more beatboxers are gonna see just how good he is, because I think sometimes people whenever they see him performing with Gene, maybe possibly some people might think that he's piggybacking on Gene's success as a beatboxer, but I think now we'll be able to see that, hey, it's not a Batman and Robin combination. It's more of okay, we are both.
Yeah, no, and in that light too, I mean, they're the same house. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Chris and Gene, they're really good friends, and obviously Spider Horse is freaking amazing.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
Chris in his own, he's so underrated.
He
He's
honestly
one of
is.
Yo, he is,
Underrated motherfuckers, along with Amit and a bunch of other people. But
hell yeah, dude.
Chris,
Shout out to
so-
Omni as well for an underrated.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Omni. But that's also with I mean, I don't want to say it's Omni's fault, but he also, I mean, he hasn't really been involved in much
True, but the
for
thing
a
is,
while.
the thing about Omni is, even though he's not as involved as much as he may be used to, he could still show up to any battle and slap half the competition.
Oh,
absolutely.
That's
Oh no, without a
that's the
doubt.
thing.
yeah.
And
He
I
doesn't,
can
he
only
doesn't have to
imagine.
try much.
Yeah, and I can only imagine how good he is right now too. Like currently, like
Because I know he's still
Yeah.
beatboxing. I know that.
oh yeah, of
He just
course.
hasn't
He's
been
not
like on
stopping.
camera much.
Oh,
Well,
wait.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he hasn't
Come on.
been around.
You can't say he's still beatboxing. Once you start beatboxing, you're never gonna stop.
Well,
That's not a
true,
thing.
True.
but I mean,
People, even
like,
people are like, I've seen people be like, "Oh, like I'm like leaving beatboxing. I'm quit. I can't do it." You're not. You can't. It's
you
always
really can't.
around you all the time.
Yeah,
Like
You can't,
like
beatboxers,
start.
we create our own addictions. Like we
Exactly.
really do. But hold up, just go back to Chris real quick. I've said it once,
Right.
I've said it twice, I've said it 5 times. Chris Elise is the most refreshing beatboxer I've heard in years.
Oh yeah.
For me personally, especially like because when I first got into beatboxing, it was like when I started, it was like 2010-ish going to 2011 was when I kind of like started.
Mhm.
But what really got me like to dedicate my time really into beatboxing was after watching the 2014 American Champs after I was unable to fully attend and seeing Chris battle Napalm. I was like, at first I was like, oh man, he got wrecked. And then seeing Chris
Yeah.
now, I'm like, oh snap! Like I get excited
yeah,
every single
Yep.
time I have an opportunity to hear Chris. And after hearing him live, like I like it's really interesting watching the change in even his stage presence from even
Oh
a few years
yeah.
ago because
yeah.
he was a lot more
He's
passive a few years ago, but like
Oh yeah.
now
This
he's like
cute
the
little
energy
kid
just
with.
flows and like there's an
Oh
intensity
yeah.
but also a controlled like power in his stage presence and I freaking love it. Like
Also,
I'm obsessed with
another
Chris.
thing, another thing that I really enjoy about Chris is that I find it really cool that he's a music teacher.
Yeah.
I can only
Mhm.
I can only imagine
Yeah.
how much rep he had in his school. You know, like hey, my music teacher, doesn't only play an instrument. He's a beatboxer. That's kind of cool. I mean, for me at least.
I'm willing to
But
bet he's
again,
probably the coolest teacher in the school.
definitely.
oh yeah, by far.
But I mean, yeah. I think also Chris's rise or Chris's creativity and refreshness along with Gene's is a prime example of what happens when a beatboxer is also a musician. What happens when a beatboxer actually understands the language of music and how because how to do it, because I think that a lot of us beatboxers can learn a thing or two about just actually being more knowledgeable about this thing called music, and how do you combine that with what you already know about beatboxing and just making something that's weird and honest and you. And
Dude,
I think that Chris and Gene and other beatboxers as well are prime examples of that.
As well
Oh,
And
yeah.
as what happens when you're
and
surrounded by beatboxers as well. Like I've heard people like,
Exactly.
"Oh, why does Beatbox House always like win all these battles and stuff?" I'm like, "Well, name the beatboxers that you know in the U.S. that live, perform, work, and grow and thrive and survive with other beatboxers, essentially 24/7.
Exactly.
They're basically the only
Exactly.
ones in the U.S. that are really doing that. And when you're doing that for as long as they've been doing that, like you're going to grow at a different rate. You're going to get to the top and you're going to stay at the top for a while.
right, yeah,
Oh,
that's important.
And like another thing about Chris too, especially like not only is he very musically talented, and the songs he comes up with when he does the loop stations too, what he performed at, is so beautiful and touching, and he's just honestly, I'm gonna say this about Chris, that you can maybe say about honestly 50% of the beatbox community, he is so down to earth. So down to
Yes.
earth.
yeah,
He's one of
dude,
the
yeah.
nicest fucking people I've ever met.
Yeah, he is without a doubt, dude. Yeah, I completely agree.
He was like one of the first beatboxers that I had like a full conversation with, and he was talking like me and my family about like him teaching and how my sister was like going to college for music therapy, and he was like, "Oh, cool." He actually is interested in the people that he's talking up to, and it's refreshing because too many people too many people kind of have egos, so to speak. And
Oh yeah.
in the beatbox
Whoa.
community, at least in person, the egos don't shine through as much, and the majority of people are relatively chill in person, but with Chris, it's like you could tell that it's just so genuine. Because like not only is it in person, like I've talked to him online, talked to him. He's come on Discord and whatnot, and it's just like the dude is just him. Like he's him whether it's online or whether it's in person, and that's really refreshing.
Yeah,
But,
I agree, dude.
Yeah. I definitely think that he's gonna do well in the Grand Beatbox battle, regardless of whether or not he wins. I think that that's gonna be lit. In terms of the overall Grand Beatbox, to be honest, I don't watch all the videos in Grand Beatbox battle, but I do see that the Grand Beatbox battle, just like other beatboxing events in the States and around the world, they just get better every year.
Yep.
Not just in terms of the overall level of the artist or the beatboxer competitors, but also I think on the level of like production and some marketing, just making the event happen in all levels. I think that I'm seeing a growth. Like I remember last year I saw, I think the flyer, and I think Boss was one of the sponsors for the event. I don't know about you guys, but that's huge. I mean, Boss is the world's biggest music like software equipment manufacturing company, and for them to be interested in a beatboxing event as big as the Grand Beatbox Battle says a lot about where this thing is going, and so I think that's cool, for
Yeah. It's honestly it's only a matter of time before beatboxing gets to the mainstream. Literally. It's so unique and there's nothing like it out there. And it's been around for a very long time, but it hasn't been like called beatboxing until like recently. You know what I mean? Like only to a certain extent. But it's only a matter of time. I mean, just along with Chris at the Beatbox House alone, they're fucking on Nickelodeon. They're like doing like private events. They're getting flown out from here to there to China. It's
Right.
only a matter of time. I mean, even I think the Chinese beatbox like the championships, they were just on like, or was it Japan? I think it was Japan. They were on like their cable TV. Like it was streamed on their like fucking television over there. Like that is Japan. I can see doing that because Japan's cool, and then Japan knows what's up. Let's get real. Let's be real. But
That's
like,
true.
it's only. I mean,
they.
MTV does it, but like it's kind of like watered down beatboxing, not really like what we're used to. Just the simple beats or whatever, blah blah blah. But it's only a matter of time before. Yeah, right.
No, but I mean, any promotion for the Artforms, whether it be, Nicole Paris or a world class beatboxing champion is good because people get to see it on some capacity. Now, I would
True.
I would argue that beatboxing has been in the mainstream already. I think what you're referring to specifically is the level of beatboxing that we are used to or that we are at. I think that's what's getting more in the mainstream now.
Right.
And also the visibility of like the community, the entire subculture of beatboxing. I think that's what's being shown, more recently.
Yeah, at a grand scale, you can say we're kind of going through a renaissance, I guess, within beatboxing. When you compare it to its roots and when it started to now, it's definitely been like a rebirth for like just beatboxing in general. But just going back to Green Beatbox Battle real quick, just so everyone knows, the people competing are Hiss, Thorson, Jayton, Slizzer, Trungbao, 2H, BMG, B-Art, Candy Urban, Napalm, Babily, FIB, Shangzi, Alexinho, Heart Gray, and now Chris.
Oh
Yeah.
my
It's so
God.
stacked.
Like, I'm
It's
moist.
so fucking stacked, bro. It's crazy.
The thing is, what I love about Grand Beatbox Battle is every single person is required to give a 4-minute showcase, and that fits Chris like a glove.
Yeah, it does.
And that's why I'm really excited because like
Wow.
I want him to. I want him to win the entire thing. To be honest, I would like nothing more than him to win the entire thing. To be honest.
I've never honestly even seen a Grand Beatbox Battle lineup that I've known everyone and I like all of them and they're all fucking nasty.
Exactly.
So there better be a fucking live stream because I need to watch. Oh shit! No, I'm not. I'm gonna be. It's next week, right? I'm gonna be in Texas next week. I'm performing at South by Southwest. Fuck! I wanted to go so bad. I wanted to go to Grand Beatbox Battle so bad.
It depends. What days next week?
I'm gonna be gone from the 16th to the 21st, and I'm performing on the 18th.
Well, the 17th is the first day of the Grand Beatbox Battle, so you might be able to watch that day.
Fuck! I'm not gonna have a TV. I literally don't even have a hotel. I'm like crashing on someone's couch.
Are you gonna go grab Reeps' beard?
Oh yeah, I'm seeing Reeps. Hell yeah,
Lit.
Mr. Harry. Yep, he gave me his sushi before. I saw him at Harvard.
Legend.
And like after the show or whatever, I like walked back to say like, yo, good job, like honestly, you're the shit. And he was like eating sushi, and I was staring at the sushi while I was having a conversation with Elf, and he caught me looking at his sushi. He's like, "Do you want a piece of sushi?" And I was like, "Oh my god, yeah!"
And you can.
And he fed me with his chopsticks, so I think he'll remember me as sushi bitch.
Yes, you should introduce yourself like that.
Hi, I'm sushi bitch. Remember me?
Yeah.
Also, I'm just prepared. I'm prepared to turn into a puddle of just joy and ecstasy when Slizzer does his showcase. I'm just saying.
Oh,
because
so can I just say,
Slizzer makes me warm inside in all the best ways.
I have two favorite beatboxers that I've been following since I was a wee little beatboxing baby: Slizzer and Beardy Man. Those are the two that are like my absolute 100% favorites that I've been following since I was little. And I've been beatboxing before I even knew any of like, beatbox television or anything like that was going on, obviously. But like when I found that out, oh, you best believe I was upset.
Like, yo, I'm actually really excited too because 2H is back. And 2H for a while, 2H was a bigger inspiration to me than Reeps 1.
Wasn't he in the military or something?
Yeah, for like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I feel like he's gonna come back and murder everyone. That's the thing.
He's going to.
Because 2H was so ahead of his game years ago.
Oh yeah.
And you hear everything that he would ever post on like social media and whatnot, and you like I would sit there with like just taking it all in. The dude's freestyling in what looks like it could easily be like a fancy outhouse, and the acoustics aren't great, the video quality isn't great, but everything we hear is just like, dear God. The dude's a monster. He's not human. I'm so excited for him, man.
I remember his 2013 studio session. I think that was.
I remember that was exploding hearing that.
I remember that was the first time I ever heard of him, and I thought that okay, this guy is an alien. Just his sound, the sounds that he was making was just so out there, and I kind of like that.
And I love how he would have like what I love about 2H is that 2H would have like the most abstract of flows and structures, but it would always sound freaking clean. The dude never ever sounded like anyone else. Period. The dude sounded unique since day one, and I freaking love that. Like you can't replicate 2H's style. You can't. You can try.
Nah.
But you really can't.
Nah.
Yeah, he's a weird beatboxer. But then again, he's from South Korea. I mean, I remember this goes back to what we've talked about, Kayla, so much offline, in terms of, he's very much in contact with what goes on in his country, and I think that he kind of brings that to his music, to his beatboxing, and so that makes it fresh, makes it him, makes it honest, and I don't think we see that enough in our community.
I feel you.
And so I really appreciate whenever a beatboxer does do that, But yeah, I mean, I think this year is gonna be the best year yet.
And can we just talk about, because I realized that even the last times we talked about Beatbox Battle, we didn't even talk about Loop Station or Tag Team.
Oh yeah, that's right, Loop Station.
Like I'm looking at it right now. The Loop Station lineup is Sorrow, Robin, Thorson,
right?
Tioneb, Camaro, Slizzer, MB14, and Pancakes.
Oh my God, Camaro!
Wait, Slizzer's gonna be in the Loop Station?
Yup.
Oh my God!
Like my body is ready, but I don't think my body's ready anymore. Like I'm not prepared for this.
I don't think I can watch this. I don't think I can like do all of this in one day. I'm gonna have to do this in segments when the videos come out.
This is gonna be a lot.
It's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna need a lot of tissues.
A lot of dope shit happening.
I'm just gonna my body is going to orgasm everywhere if I hear all this in one day. I can't do the live stream. There's no fucking way. I can't.
Honestly, dude, I know for a fact Pancake is coming back like a hammer, like legit. Because after last year, I was like, oh shoot. I know he's coming back with some fire. But I'm calling it right now. Hopefully I'm right, because I want to be right when I call things. Top 4 is going to be Thorson, Tioneb, MB14, and Pancakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm thinking Thorson, Pancakes final.
Yeah,
honestly, I would not be surprised if I saw another Thorson at MB14. But
feel like hold up. My only counter to that, Hershe, would be that he has been very busy with Berrywom, so he might not have as much material.
True.
Like Pancakes
is true.
100% trying to fucking win. He has not won yet. He has come so close both times.
Yeah, he's coming to kill.
And he definitely, I think, he kind of I don't want to say he revolutionized looping, but he definitely
he stepped the bar up.
He raised the bar though. So
okay, okay, but say it is and fucking Thorson. Thorson is the Loop Station god.
Thorson made me so happy last year. At first, I really didn't know much about Thorson. I've heard of him, but I didn't know his looping. I've heard his beatboxing, didn't really know his looping, and I was audibly devastated in the best of ways listening to everything that he did.
Honestly, I've never heard of MB14 until that, and I've never heard of Thorson until last year. And I was Thorson was not only was everything every MB14 was great, but Thorson, he was just so precise. He captured the crowd. The timing was perfect. Everything was routine, in his brain, and it was just executed so thoroughly and with so much power. You know what I mean? He did, and a lot of what a lot of beatboxers don't realize too is when you are doing your thing, you can't be so power all the time. It gets boring. You gotta go through the wave. It's like Dynamics. When I DJ exactly. But DJing is the same way. You can't it's like playing a song and there's the breakdown without the drums. You know what I mean? And either the build up or a drop real quick. You know what I mean? It just brings that dynamic and makes you slow down for a bit and then speed back up. And it's so much. The adrenaline's just crazy. You need that dynamic for not only yourself but everybody watching.
That dynamic, I feel was beautifully executed, especially in his All You Need Is Music round. That was probably the single greatest round of looping I've ever heard in my entire life. To be perfectly honest, I don't think I've ever heard better looping than that. Honestly, it made me actually want to loop a bit. At first, I thought looping was cool, but I was I don't know if that's really me. I'll listen to it and it sounds dope, but I don't know if I would actually do it. After hearing that, I was just I might have to try this.
Yeah, I think
it's pretty cool.
I think it's kind of cool how beatboxers in some way have kind of well taken over looping. I mean, I would argue that beatboxers are the most skilled or one of the most skilled musicians with the loop station.
Fact.
Yeah, dude.
Fact.
Yo,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
real,
because for example, last year I was at a Berkeley music camp kind of thing, and somebody asked me if I tried to loop, and I remember it was a guitar player, and I was talking about how, you know, I have thought about it, but you know, I still haven't really dive into it too much. And he was trying to argue about how easy it was to loop. And I was like, well, maybe for you, you know, in your instrument, but with the voice, there's so much you can do. You know, with the voice,
Exactly.
with what you know, with your vocal skill plus the equipment itself, like you can make music out of the equipment itself. You put those two together, and the possibilities are, you know, very wild and wide.
Basically,
And
it
so I
goes
think,
it goes from you going to Toys R Us, going to the Lego section, looking at all the sets, to you going to freaking Legoland. That's what it is. Like legit.
exactly. And so I
Beatboxing is
think
like Legoland.
I think that the loop station battle in the Grand Beatbox battle and how it has expanded to other events has produced a level of looping artistry that's just great, you know, and that's only
Fact.
gonna get better and better, or higher and higher, and more creative as time goes on, you know, and
I'm
different
calling
people
it
start.
now. I'm calling it
Mhm.
now. Within a year or 2 years, future Grand Beatbox Battle wildcard winner for Loop Station, freaking Brandonk from the UK. I'm calling it now. If you hear this, dude, I freaking love you. You're amazing. Like legit. I think he did a loop
Shout
for a flow
out.
case. Oh my god.
Oh
Like this
yeah.
kid, he is, dude. I'm telling you, give the kid like a year. Give him another year, and he'll be on people's heels. And it just like pure looping skill. The dude is just a freaking innovator with a loop station, in my opinion. Like, and he's like an innovator in the making, and I freaking love it. But
I like that.
let's move on to tag team. Okay, this has me pretty excited. Mad Twins,
Oh,
K-Palm,
Mad
Yeah.
Twins. Mad Twins, take it, please.
Caustic
K
Storm,
Palm.
Chakra
Yep.
Breaker, A and Z, which is Zhangzhe and Oxen, I think is how I pronounce the name.
Mhm.
Wait,
I
is
think
it Zongzhe? I thought it was Zongze.
it's pronounced Zhangzhe, I believe.
I know.
Genre.
Look at me just
Most
being. I'm just being a dumb American. So
Month wins, which is Hiss and 2H, Spider Horse, DTN, which is Ninos and Andro, and Ildem, which is Etelman and Tatsuyaki.
wait a minute. Wait, did I hear you say 2H and hits? Did I not notice that?
Yes.
Oh, bro. Bro.
Yeah,
The thing is,
that's
I don't know
like
I don't know how that's gonna work, because the thing is,
right.
we've
Yeah,
never
it's
heard.
so overpowering.
Yeah, I can.
I don't
That
know how
might
well
not
their
work.
styles will like work together, but we'll see.
Like, yeah. I mean, I don't know, man, because I think they're both very like, dude, Hiss. Like, I watched a lot of his live stream that he did on Human Beatbox. Like, bro, he's crazy. Like, he is extremely fucking skilled, man. This kid is. So, like, I don't know. I mean, and 2H himself, obviously.
Yeah, 2H is Godzilla, so.
But the thing is, though,
Yeah, completely.
and like they're like, especially 2H, like he's very powerful, but it's not like it's like unrestrained power. You know what I mean?
He's
so
so
like,
controlled.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, I feel like, I don't know. I mean, the only reason it may not work as well is because of Hiss, and that's only just because of his inexperience with like battling and maybe like performing with someone. You know?
Exactly,
I mean,
because it is a showcase
He's
first.
still pretty fresh. Yeah, exactly.
It is
But
definitely
this
a showcase first and
But,
battle later.
but
But
yeah.
2H has experience doing Grand Beatbox Battle. He's done this.
But
You know.
but Hiss by far, I would say Hiss out of everyone in the solo battles or whatever, I would say that he has the most potential, like in the long run. I think I got him all.
Oh yeah. Hiss.
Like,
the thing
dude,
is, I feel like Hiss, even though he has a lot of potential, I feel like he's not going to end up being the best Korean beatboxer down the line, at least for the next few years. I think Wing, who won
Yeah, no, it's gonna
Korean
be
championship,
Wing for a while, and
I
it's
feel
gonna
like
be
it's going to be
2H.
Wing. Right now, Hiss has more popularity, but I feel like in terms
Yeah.
of who's going to go down as the best for at least the next maybe few years, I feel like it's going to be Wing. To be honest, because whenever I hear Wing, I just enjoy Wing's style more, just me personally. But Hiss, the thing about Hiss versus Wing is Hiss is a lot more diverse. And he is a lot more
Hiss
flexible in what he can do in terms of this.
Dude,
his sound and style library is so immense.
The
dude,
fucking,
I feel like he can counter anyone. That's the thing.
Yeah, bro.
So once he gets into the battles, it's like,
bro. Okay, well, wait, hold on. Well, real quick, yeah, just like you just said, he can counter fucking anybody. He literally has a compilation video where he kind of made his own medley of like every person in Grand Beatbox battle and then some, and just made it. Dude, it was incredible. It was so absolutely incredible. I couldn't believe he did that. Couldn't believe it.
Very impressive. Definitely. I remember. I think it was you, Caleb, that told me, "Hey, go listen to this kid." And
I'm pretty sure it was me because I'm like, bro.
When you did, I didn't do it. But then the other day, I finally sat down. I listened, and it was like, okay, this nigga is nasty. Especially because I feel like he's very not only is he very technical, but there was like I think it was a Swiss Beatbox shout out video where he gave me a lot of technique on one section, and then he did a flow, groove, offbeat, metric modulation thing that I love to do and really enjoy. And I was like, okay, yeah, this guy is gonna go far. And so, like, but then when I found out he was 14 when he did the video,
Wait, he was 14.
Well, when he did when he did the video that I'm talking about, yes, he was.
The Swiss Beatbox video.
Yeah,
so he's like what, 15 now?
Yeah, he's 15 now.
And the thing is, I don't even think he's been beatboxing for more than 3 years. The thing is, it's crazy about this generation of boxers that are coming up. A lot of them haven't been beatboxing for half the time.
Fuck? That's some bullshit. That's
exactly.
Bullshit.
Like Komodo, for instance, Komodo has only been doing it for 2 years.
All right, I'm gonna hit you all with a reasoning for this. It is because the generation of beatboxers that are coming up now, they have everything. They have everything that we didn't have. That's why they had everything. They have everything that we never had.
And the thing is, battling has become even more important. Than it was then. Like when I first got into it, which was like when I first got into it, I would say was right before the American scene was more respected worldwide, and like battles were happening, but they weren't as big. They weren't as important. People weren't, I would say, really dedicating so much time and effort. Maybe until like right before some preparation, the upcoming weeks to battles. Like I know people that are working on their eliminations for national championships now, and they're at the end of the year.
Yeah, and like you think about this too, like when like people who started earlier in the beatbox scene, like me and like other people who like started like 2010, 9, 8 mark, we all learned probably the amount that we could all learn at the time and grew together. Whereas now, if I was new and I was looking at all these videos and seeing everybody in the community, you would want to learn the advanced sounds now.
Yeah.
So it would take you less time to do it, versus like learning all like the shit basics that everyone knows and like sticking with that for like a couple of years and then starting to learn more and more. Either you experimenting with yourself or like talking to a friend about it or watching videos about it or tutorials or whatever the fuck how you do it. But like it's so much easier now to like get, especially if like you're an obsessive person and you have like, I feel like every beatboxer has ADD. I'm just gonna put that right there. If you're walking down the street and you're talking to someone and all of a sudden you're like they're like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. It just happened. You know what I mean? It's definitely a thing. But see, even right now, I'm getting off topic by talking about it.
No, to echo some of what you're saying, and also you, CCB. Now, I would say that, I mean, to me, this is no surprise at all. I mean, culture is always evolving, and so when we started beatboxing, most of us, we sort of built the framework by which the younger beatboxers can sort of take that and take it somewhere else, and so I don't. It's not a matter of us, feeling bad, that a 15-year-old beatboxer is so great. I mean, it
makes me happy, to be honest.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like awesome, honestly.
It's honestly, it's supposed to be like that. Now,
hold on, wait, before you go on. I just had a light bulb go off my head. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I have to say this. There's a freaking downside to that.
I was just about to say that.
Okay. Go. I want to see if you're gonna say what I was gonna say.
Well. I would say I wouldn't say it's a downside, but I would say that the challenge or the danger of that whole situation is that you kind of can get a whole lot of people that do the same things or that sound the same. And actually, this happens in music a lot.
Yeah.
I think, for example, for us, for me, for example, when I started beatboxing back in 2012, when Reach was still a battler, and so for me, even though I might not be on the same level skill wise that a lot of these beatboxers, I can honestly say that I sound like me, and sometimes,
that's for fucking damn sure.
And sometimes when everybody wants to do the same things, then the creativity aspect of it can get lost in the translation. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way, and I don't think it's necessarily like that. But I think that if the artist isn't careful, then you can kind of fall into that.
That definitely is one downside, but that actually wasn't what I was going for. What I was going for is actually, I feel like, a bit deeper than that, in the sense where a lot of these young boxers that are excelling so quickly because they just have more access to certain things, and also the online culture where people to grow, battle, and all that stuff is so much bigger than it was before. That also helps like foster these younger beatboxers so much quicker. But the thing is, when they're learning so quickly, a lot of them, they're learning so quickly and being surrounded and kind of brought up in almost strictly just battling. And I feel like it's making the younger generation maybe less capable performers and maybe less accessible to actually becoming full artists outside of just battling.
Less capable artists. And not only that, Caleb, but they are missing, a lot of them are not necessarily fundamentally sound either.
Yep, a lot of them aren't clean.
If you go, like, for example, if you don't spend enough time on every single skill that you need to work on, and you just go like, very fast from one sound to the other, or from one sound to the other, then you never really dominate any of it.
Like, take the advice that Ballsy said, like, if the Swiss Beatbox did like a little Facebook video just interviewing Ballsy about like how do you like be so clean and whatnot. Basically, in the nutshell of the entire thing he was saying was, once you don't necessarily try to learn all the sounds at once. Once you get your fundamentals, work on your fundamentals, make them nice and clean. When you learn another sound, make that sound clean, and then start using it. So every single time you do something, you sound fresh. The thing is, you also, I think Reaps one also said, just because the sound is difficult doesn't mean the sound is good. And I find myself struggling at times to really enjoy a lot of beatboxing sometimes, especially in some online battles, because we're doing all these crazy complex sounds, but it's not anything that I want to hear. Sometimes I would rather just hear percussion that is on time, it's executed well, the person doesn't go off beat, and they will mix up flows and the such, than all these crazy sounds that don't even sound right.
Oh my god. I can't even tell you how many times that like I've tried to jam with somebody and like they're doing the whole thing and like they're making sounds that like I'm looking at them like, what the fuck are you doing?
Like they have no composure.
They're like trying to, yeah. They're like, I can't tell though. Please tell me, y'all. men, inform me. Is this more like they're like trying to like when you're jamming with someone and they're like, you know, being all technical and shit and like not trying to groove with you, or like it's not even about technical part. It's just like doing their own thing and not understand. I don't know whether it's them. Is it them not understanding how to cooperate and
They don't know how
jam,
to
or is
listen.
it
That's
them?
the thing.
They don't know how
Yeah.
to, not even that. They just, they don't know how to jam. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
dude, even with me, that's why a lot of times when I go to the champs, I don't even jam. Because, like, most of the time, like, if you go into a circle, it's just so much happening. You're like, where the fuck do I even come in? And, like, what do I even do?
Honestly, hold
Yeah.
up. For anyone that wants to jam, I don't care who you are. I don't care how long you've been beatboxing. If you haven't seen it, or if you've seen it, freaking watch it again. The jam that was recorded is on Swiss Beatbox with freaking Reaps One, Ballsy, Babbly, Darny, and
dude,
I think like one or two other people.
That fucking
That jam
shit
in the
was
hallway.
perfect.
Oh my god!
Was
Watch
perfect.
that.
I don't think I've
Listen to
ever seen
how
that
they
one.
listen to one another and how they respond to what they're listening to.
I'll have
Because
you send me
oh
that
my
link.
god, that
I
right
might
there
listen
is
to that link.
freaking fantastic.
Dude,
And it's
there's
all
another
freestyle.
one.
It is, and a lot of it has to do, Hershe, to answer your question. A lot of times, and again, this happens in other circles as well, but not nearly as much as what happened in beatboxing. Is that a lot of times people, especially these younger beatboxers, they want to show off. You know, they want to show you that they're more skilled than you, or that you don't belong in the cycle.
Right? What the fuck?
Yeah, because remember,
they're kids.
Remember, and not only that, remember if you're when you're battling all the time, you know, then it's kind of difficult for you to step out of that mentality.
Also, don't assume though. You don't necessarily assume that it's the I'm gonna show off I'm better than you type of thing, or like,
true.
But I feel like it's mostly the look what I can do, recognize me.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more of that.
I would agree.
There's a time and a place for that. You know what I mean? Like when I did my first battle, we were all jamming outside. I think Kenny Urban was there, or Napalm was there. They were like the judges and shit. It was Honeycomb's battle like 2 years ago or whatever. And like they were like jamming outside. I think Villain was there. Like it was all cool and shit. And like everybody has a part. I think I was doing like a trumpet or some shit, or like, you know, like. But then when you get up on stage, surprise them. You know, you don't have to like be so forceful all in trying to do everything in a jam.
Yeah, don't throw your whole library into it. Just put your page in.
Exactly. Bro,
just show them. Yeah, like just
the jams at American Champs are great though. 2016. To be honest, like I know if he listens to this, One Known and Decoy as well. I was jamming with them and a few people. It was like me, One Known, Decoy. I think Insane. And Sparks. I think there's a video on my Instagram that has us jamming for a bit. But even if you just hear that, it doesn't even sound amazing. But every person is doing their own part, and it has a sense of coherence.
Shout out Boston Beatbox right now with Decoy.
True. Shout out to Jay Watt for saving Decoy from getting hit by a car like 15 times during American Champs. Decoy wanted to play Frogger, that's all.
He's nasty though. For like he's so young. Oh my god, he's so good. I can't wait. Can't wait till he gets older and he just like absolutely just can travel and like destroys it.
You know what's crazy though? Even though I realize that these young kids are improving so fast, but what's crazy is I feel like the older ones that have been doing it for so much longer, I feel like the biggest reason why they have stayed on top for the most part is because they've mastered their craft, and their craft is not held to just battling, and they are able to touch on things that you just can't touch on if you purely battle.
Well,
and I feel like it's a combination of that, plus also the influence of the younger, the fast-growing younger generation that's actually pushing them to improve as well. Like for me, for instance, I've performed way more than I've battled per se, and basically within 2 years' time, I have improved so much, it's ridiculous. Like roughly a quarter of my battle experience is where I've had my greatest growth, like legit. So I feel like I feel like those have been doing it for a while, and they see some of these younger, really great beatboxers coming up, but they are really only experienced with battling. I feel like the older ones still come out on top because of
No,
the
I
fact that they're just
completely
more
agree with that.
multifaceted beatboxers on the
Yeah.
whole.
I completely agree with that. And it's like one of those
Same.
things too where like it's one of those things too, like time honestly isn't even a factor sometimes. Like I started beatboxing 9 years ago, but then I feel like I peaked out and I was never in the community. I was just kind of alone by myself. And I didn't really know about the battles until a little bit later. And then I started getting into DJing, so I stopped beatboxing and learning. And then I recently got back in like to beatboxing again because I feel like I was satisfied with my DJing, and now it's a back and forth thing that I do all the time. And like, just because like you've been doing it for a while doesn't mean like you need like a hiatus sometimes. Like, especially if
Yeah,
like
sometimes
a
you
lot of
do.
people, a lot of people are like, oh, like I feel stuck. I don't know, like I feel like I'm doing the same shit. That's how I felt.
Yeah, I don't. Honestly, personally, I don't really understand when people say that.
I do
mean-
very much so in
Oh yeah, I get
multiple
it.
artistic venues because, as Edgar knows, I write, I do photography, I do some graphic stuff as well as beatboxing,
this
and
guy's everywhere.
I for me personally, I feel like it's very important to have kind of like I guess I think Reaps One talked about this in some video. I think it goes on UKF. About his kind of artistic triangle, I think it was, with him having his beatboxing, drawing, and chess. And I feel like it's important to have more than just one artistic outlet, or at least one outlet that you enjoy. You know, more than one outlet that you enjoy. Like for me personally, if I'm stuck, especially with like a beat or whatnot, or just beatbox in general, and I feel like I'm kind of in a rut, I'll do like one of two things. I'll rather kind of chill, take a step back, and work on something else, or I'll intentionally put myself in an uncomfortable position in the sense of I'm doing rhythms and flows that I've never really been comfortable doing. I'm working on sounds that I really don't have developed yet. And you kind of just, you focus on your flaws, and you try to polish those flaws up, add them to your repertoire, and then it kind of helps you get out of that rut. But at the same time, just having a change of scenery, doing other things, it helps a lot. Like I had a moment where even though it wasn't voluntary after the 2015 American Champs, because of over preparation and overstrain on my voice, I could not beatbox properly, and I could not do my inward bass properly for 6 months, and that changed me so much because I had relied on that one sound so heavily that once I later got better with both other basses and whatnot, I learned to refine but not abuse. And with other sounds, a lot of people that they kind of struggle with this, they find a sound that they are good at and they just abuse it. And like, sure, you're great at it, but that's like your only thing, you know. And you don't want to necessarily become a one-trick pony. So take a step back, reevaluate your repertoire, maybe take a break. With me, shoot, I'll go freaking binge watch some anime because anime is great. You know, do what you got to do, change your scenery, and then come back. Either it's a day later, a month later, you know, do what you can to kind of refresh yourself, and I feel like it helps a lot.
4 years,
It does,
years
dude.
later, cough cough.
No, that like legit fucking. That's exactly what happened with me though, man. Like I, like 2013 Midwest, I like did my bass, and I was like, all right, cool, word. That was pretty sweet. And
wait, can you give us a little sample of your bass real quick?
Oh, girl.
Oh,
Come
please put it
I'll
play.
do. Well, Caleb, when we're doing shout outs at the end.
Shoot, boy, you can do whatever you want whenever you
Yeah.
want, dude.
Do it for the ladies. Just kidding. Do it for you. I want to hear
This goes for the ladies. All right, well, I only got one lady in my life. Sorry.
it.
He's taken, y'all.
I don't understand, and I'm
so
not.
warmed up though.
I'm not
The thing is,
worthy.
dude,
Oh
even
my
though you're not
God.
warmed up, you're still so smooth.
Oh, thank you.
That's what I love. This dude's
Honestly,
like
it
butter.
wasn't even so much the bass that pissed me off. It was my kicks and my snares. They
Oh,
were
True.
what?
but
It's all
but
good. I don't understand. You sound like an effect. I don't fucking get it.
Like for me personally, like when I wake up, or if I'm like not warmed up and I do my bass, it sounds like it's halfway being done. My kicks are okay, my snares are weird, but like for instance, I haven't done much beatboxing all day, so if I go like like
Both of you.
I can barely hit half of the dynamics that I usually do, and my freaking BMG snare sounds like a freaking fart.
Wow, are you guys seriously gonna make me do bass now? Really?
Dude, shut up. Your inward bass is freaking powerful as heck, so I don't want to hear it.
Wait, okay? I want to hear it.
Second of all, you better do it, especially since I freaking helped you improve that mess, and now you're freaking.
I want to hear it.
Now it's even louder than mine, so you better freaking do it.
Yeah,
true.
You guys suck.
I love you.
Thank you guys. Thank you, people.
Oh my goodness. Oh, actually, just us going from the whole topic of like getting out of ruts and then into just doing sounds, that actually is great, because a lot of times when you get out of a rut, 9 times out of 10, at least for me, I rather improve at a sound or I learn a new sound.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. When I was in that like fucking whatever mode, and then I came back, I probably improved like 150%.
Like that's when I learned my when I was in a rut, that's when I first learned my vibration bass. But when I was in a rut recently, that's when I learned my my slap bass. The like
that sounds like a bass, like a legit bass, like a flat bass. That's pretty cool.
Like when I learned that, like I was just messing around, because I was like, oh, I don't really do my inward basses anymore, so I guess I'll try to work on that, get out of this rut. And then I ended up figuring that out. So yeah, people, if you're in a rut, freaking experiment. You might come up with some really cool stuff, dude.
Definitely.
Awesome. How are you feeling right now, boy?
Oso was like half dead.
Wait, what? Oh, yo, I didn't even know. Yeah, my bad. Wait, what?
She asked you, how you doing, boy?
So wait, what was the question? What was the question? I'm sorry.
Nah, there's no question. It's all good. It's in your head.
You're freaking beautiful.
Yeah, no.
Yo, I'm so stoned, dude. Goddamn. It's
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Just makes it it's so much more enjoyable. I get more out of the conversation.
Well, you're like the life of the party, so I love you.
Oh, word. All right, so then all right, let's segue this into the next topic. Let's keep it going.
The next topic is actually we easily could have done that earlier when we were talking about Loop Station.
Yeah.
Because just mixing beatboxing with other stuffs, other art forms and the such. I feel like one, it's great to do. Two, I feel like it's something that people should do just to open their eyes to more ways beatboxing can be used, and open their eyes to other art forms and maybe value other art forms more. That's just me personally. Like,
yeah, I think it's a great marketing tool as well. I think it's a very strategic way to open beatboxing up to other markets as well.
Look at Tom Thumb, bro.
Tom and all these big. In my case, I actually recently did a show, improv comedy show. We had I pretty much made up the entire soundscape of improvised play, and that was lit. It was a challenge. I had never done any of that stuff before, but what the creative product that came out of that was great. People loved it, and it was. a chance for the actors to learn a bit more about beatboxing, and it was a chance for me to grow in terms of and see other possible venues of work, you know, and art and artistry, you know. So I think that that's always beneficial, you know.
Shout
The
out
art
to
form.
What's up?
shout out to
What's up?
Chesney Snow in Heaven. You know, beatboxing on freaking Broadway and stuff.
Oh,
Like legit.
You know, I think actually when you look at a lot of these really successful, at least commercially successful beatboxers, I think that the common denominator is that I remember Chesney Snow. We were having a conversation on the We Talk Beatbox discussion group, and I remember Mr. Wobbles asked about the marketability of beatboxing, and
Boy,
Chesney
clap one more
Snow.
time.
Oh my bad. And I got excited. My bad. And I remember Chesney said, and I quote, the most successful beatboxers are the ones that make beatboxing a part of what they do. You know, and to take his example, he didn't make it to Broadway just beatboxing. You know, he incorporates beatboxing into other artistic mediums that he does and that he loves to do, and the combination of those is what enabled him to be where he's at now. And so I think that that's always maybe that's something that we need to look at further, and just you know, everybody finding their own combination of what it is that they love to do. I mean, we got Hershe here. I mean, even yourself, CTV. You know, you guys do different art forms, and I think that makes you not only unique in your own way. I mean, how many beatboxers DJ? You know, how many beatboxers write and do pictures and all these
I
things.
know of three of them.
You know, 3 of a million around the world. You know what I'm saying? So that number one makes you stand out from the crowd. It diversifies your product, and number 3, it opens the door for very interesting things to happen creatively and musically.
And it helps define your brand.
Exactly.
Because, like, for instance, like, we all know people, like, they perform and whatnot, and they may have, like, just lights flashing and all that stuff. How many people you know that are OGs that are doing cymatics with the beatboxing? Who do you know is freaking Reaps One?
Wow, what
It's
the
freaking
fuck is
Reaps One.
that?
Like,
Yo, wait, hold
dude,
on.
it's
If we're
freaking
gonna be showing any shit off right now, Edgar, you need to hit us with some of that shit that you were showing us last time.
Oh my god. Okay.
Dude,
So Hershe,
just a
before
little
you
bit,
start, all right. So this nigga right here, like Edgar, I've known this dude longer than anybody else in the community, right? Okay. So like, I want you like, okay. So you know the song "Sexual Healing"? That's Black Rhythm. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Sexual Healing is like Black Rhythm incarnate. Okay. Because he's gonna beatbox, and then you're gonna be like, I have never heard anything like this in my entire life, and then you're gonna be right.
It's absolutely incredible.
Wait,
He's definitely like one of the most unique beatboxers I've ever heard, and unique in a good way. Because you can be unique and sound trash, but he sounds unique
Like,
and he's freaking great.
like, yeah, okay, like, all right, not trying to take anything away from Chris, because Chris is absolutely refreshing, but like, as well as Chris, I would say definitely Edgar as well would be definitely 2 of the most refreshing beatboxers to come out in a long time, in my opinion.
Edgar's freaking great.
Which decade? Which CB?
I said you're freaking great.
Thank you guys.
Also, also when we're talking about things like mixing art forms, he often will like perform freaking shirtless, and like I get jealous, but then he'll have like stuff painted on him, and I'm like, bro, I got a paint on you.
you know what? You know what? I've never seen anybody beatbox shirtless, and the only one I've come close to seeing is Kenny Urban, but
Kenny
still has
exists
not.
shirtless.
But
Yo,
I've never
literally.
seen him actually beatbox shirtless on stage. But it's bound to happen at some point.
Well, in my case, I beatbox shirtless,
no shoes,
without shoes, and painted.
like
What?
I told you, if I get a chance to come to Puerto Rico, I'm freaking painting on you before a performance.
Yeah,
Like,
that's part of the brand that I'm working on is all the beatboxing and like body painting kind of thing.
That's
I'm gonna do
cool.
like
What
my
the
signature. I'm gonna do my signature like style, because like not a lot of people have seen like my actual drawings, because I do draw as well. I'm gonna do like some of my signature style stuff on you, dude. Like legit.
Yeah, because we need to talk about that offline, but yeah, pretty much in terms of mixing art forms, that now that we're on this topic, for me, when I started beatboxing, I was very static in terms of I would just stand there and I would focus strictly on the beatboxing or on the music.
Same.
But then when I started, to perform a little bit more, and I realized that I love to dance as well, and so I started thinking about, hey, how can I can beatbox and dance and move around and just perform a little bit more. And so I started doing that, and people started responding really, really, really well. And then after that, I came up with the idea of the vocal tribal warrior kind of thing, like rhythm theme, and so I did a show with
Shark
no
Tank.
shirt,
Hoo-ha-ha.
right? With like no shirt, and I would get up on stage and take off my shoes, take off my socks, and just kind of, I guess, incorporate a little bit of like body performance and all these things. And so the combination of all these things have brought me to a place where people not only enjoy my music, but they also enjoy the performance or the black rhythm experience kind of thing. And
Exactly.
so that right there is an example of how you can kind of make your show a little bit different from somebody else's.
And you should give us a little show. I'm just saying.
Right now.
Like just for like 2 minutes or something.
I mean, you can't really like see much. So what the fuck do you
True.
want him to describe it while he's beatboxing?
Nah,
Just
just the thing is,
No,
basically
I
the
just
thing
want him
is,
to beatbox.
the thing is,
Just
the thing about
beatbox.
Edgar's beatboxing is just the way that he beatboxes
Sweet.
is I guess one of the best ways I can describe Edgar's beatboxing is acoustic dance.
okay.
I think we should just let him fucking do it.
Just do it.
Like
Nike.
That's interesting.
My
Oh,
God.
Is he gonna do this? Are you gonna do this
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah. I'm gonna break it down.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Dude, if
All
you
right.
do that beat that you did last time, I'll freaking cry out tears of joy because it was freaking fantastic.
I want to know now. You have to do it. I don't. You just do it. No, just do it.
That new jaunt that you had like that you showed me in Oso after you were done recording.
yeah, it was wild.
Break it down. All right, I'm gonna do that one, then another one, and then we're good. All right, Hershe. So let me break it down to you how Caribbean niggas beatboxers get down. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Ready?
freaking great, dude.
Yo, congratulations. I think you just impregnated a lesbian. So I think that's the first.
Boom.
But wait, there's more. There's twins.
Thank you, people. Thank you. Yeah, it's a little bit of that's what we call salsa beatboxing. That's what I like to call that.
Really? Is that actually like salsa beatboxing?
Well, it's salsa influence, especially that.
Oh, okay.
That,
all right, word.
Especially that bass line at the beginning. It's a very
Yeah.
bass line.
That was very original.
The
and
dude
very
like is
creative,
one of the
and
only
I'm
people
very
that I know.
impressed.
Actually, the only person that I know that actually really does sound like the product of his environment.
Boom. So we get down.
That's dope. No, honestly, that's so fucking dope.
It is.
Like, that's what's up. That's what's up. I'm
Yeah.
impressed.
Put some
Fuck yeah.
respect on his name.
Black rhythm. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. By the way, look me up, people. but I mean, but yeah, but the whole the whole point of that is that I think tying it to what we're talking about, beatboxing and other art forms. I would say, for me, I like to listen to a lot of music that's not beatboxing, so that I can sort of be influenced by that. For me, I've undergone this process of not only getting to know the musical fabric of my country and the space in which I'm at, but also just getting to know the culture and like the history, anything from the clothing. I mean,
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
I think a lot of times, beatboxers forget, or maybe we just haven't really figured that part out, that even on the level of the clothes that you choose to wear, like to a show or to a battle, that right there can be an element that differentiates the artist. Because I remember back in the day, when you look at, for example, rap music back in the 90s, and you look at the artists, not everybody, not only do they not sound the same, but they don't even look the same. And so it was very distinguishable. And so I think that maybe beatboxers need to look at that aspect as well, in terms of using that to differentiate, what they do from what other people do. I remember this video from a show where he did a sing, song piece, and he had a kimono on, and I thought, it's simple, right? It's a piece of clothing, but it differentiated him from other people, because that's culturally relevant to show. He's from Japan, and so I think that it's another element that people just can look into, and just kind of connect with whatever it is that's your heritage and your culture, and whatever resonates with you on that level, and just use that.
Word.
Yeah. Also, you had a point you wanted to make.
Yeah, yo, all right, guys. So this is something I've been thinking about for like a few weeks now, and it's like it's one of those things that I think it's I'm sure people have there's definitely plenty of people who have like thought this as well, but like I don't know, I don't feel like I've really ever heard anyone talk about it though directly. And it is like kind of like how you're saying beatboxing and other instruments, but looking at it in more of like an analytical perspective, like beatboxing versus a guitar, or beatboxing versus piano. And like when you look at like the difficulties between the two, like I think we could agree that like relatively it's like the same difficulty. I think like in regards to being like a master at an instrument. It's like, I mean, it's it takes a lot of fucking dedication, a lot of time, a lot of hard work, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can all agree on that. However, with beatboxing, well, it's like there's another level of difficulty that you just don't get with like any other instrument, and that is the fact that you have to actually make your sounds sound good. Like with a guitar, you pick up a guitar, all you gotta do is just plug a tuner in, string, just plug the fucking string, turn, just tighten the things, whatever the fucking frets, whatever, and like that's it. You're good to go. You just play, and all you got to do then is just know how to play and be able to play it and be able to read it and all that shit, right? But like again, like but then now if you look at beatboxing though, it's like you can learn. Okay, like I'm gonna cover this song. All right, cool. But like you're not necessarily gonna sound good until you put in the time to actually make the sounds themselves like sound good. You know what I mean?
The thing is,
And
there's
like
another level to that too. There's threefold, and the thing is, not only is there the learning aspect, or I guess we can say that we're on par with in terms of learning how to do. There's also the next level, which is making yourself sound good, which other instruments don't necessarily have, and then the third level is, unlike using the other instruments, beatboxers are also the composers.
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah, like we're literally
a lot
everything.
of times with other instrumentalists, they aren't necessarily composing their own music, and a lot of times they're not composing it on the fly. Beatboxers compose it on the fly a lot of times, and they do it better than I would say anyone that does any instrument on the planet. Like legit.
The beatboxing is you're honestly the most complicated instrument is yourself.
Facts.
That is the most, because if you take a violin, it's only gonna be able to fucking play a violin. Where we could do violin, we could do drums. You can't do drums. You take a fucking guitar, it's not gonna be able to do drums. Maybe you could strum the frets a little bit harder to make it sound like a drum. It's not. You can't fucking make a bass line. You know what I mean? You can literally fucking do everything within yourself, and like it's like not everything, but to a point. You know what I mean? Like
no, I mean, I was gonna say that comes from the fact that the voice is the world's oldest, but also the most powerful and the most versatile instrument. That there's ever been. And so, since beatboxers are vocalists, we are dealing with an instrument that can, express any musical idea, in real time. And so I think that I would definitely agree with you also that beatboxing. Actually, I was reading the other day this doctoral thesis on beatboxing by this Italian professor, and she talks about the beatboxing being both musical and non-musical. A musician, a typical musician, for example, a singer or a bass player, bassist, they would work and refine their musical ear only their musical ear. But a beatboxer, she argues, we have to develop not only the musical ear, melodies and harmonies and chords and triads, all these things, but and rhythm and tempo, but also what she calls the phonetic ear, which is your sensitivity to sound and how you take sound and you shape it and you create it and you use art and you make art with that.
That's very interesting.
And so I think that adds a level of difficulty to what we do that doesn't really get talked about a lot. And another thing, Caleb, to your point on the composing thing, the other day I was performing, and when I went down, I was talking to one of the fans that was at the event, and this man, 45 years old, never really heard beatboxing in his life. But he kind of sort of seen vocal music like through a cappella groups and all these things. And I remember that this man is the first man to ever tell me that, hey, what you just did, that's composition. What you did was you showed us your music. What the things that you've been working on. And that, I gotta say, guys, fam, that felt so good. It was the first time that somebody that's not even a beatboxer, doesn't know crap about what we do, to actually acknowledge the fact that I'm a composer, just like any other musician is a composer on what they do.
Yeah.
And I think that part is something that I guess we need to educate the public a little bit more on.
Right.
What's going on.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing about beatboxing too. Like you don't have to be a composer. You can be, but you don't have to be. Like me, I can't read notes, but I can hear it. You know what I mean? Like my ears are tuned, so I can hear what's off key and what's not. And like every single sound that I've ever learned, or from like probably like 2008 to like 2012, was all me listening to like, you know, Black Rhythm and saying music. You know what I mean? I wasn't listening to other beatboxers. I was listening to music, and I'm a DJ too. So when I was downstairs in my basement with my first record and turntables, I would listen to like, I would scratch the record and I would listen to that scratch and I would mimic that scratch. It's all a big mimic game.
Do a scratch.
That's what beatboxing essentially. I only just. So it's like, it's all like a giant like mimic, and you can slow it down. You can do like if I were to go back and forth with the record, you know, you go what if you want to do like you know what I mean? You bring it back and forth, and like I would look at the record, I would listen to the record, I would mimic the record with my vocals, you know, doing that. I wouldn't mimic other beatboxers, I would mimic the actual record. Like when you listen to music, you mimic the music, you know?
And you know what's interesting, Hershe, is that when you're you know, for those of us that study music or that have studied music in the past, when you're in that process of fine-tuning your ears and pitch and all these things, what you're doing is essentially the same thing, in the sense that you are learning, for example, the piano, you are imitating, making, and that you memorize it and you do it, you know, you commit it to memory, and then eventually you'll be able to do it without the piano. And so
right.
Very different from you listening to a scratch, you know, or scratching yourself on the turntable and mimicking it with your mouth, and then using it
right
however way you want it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
like
right.
I feel like I felt that heavily though, what Hershey was talking about, because for me personally, like those that know my style, I guarantee you, if you try to guess the music that I listen to, you'll be wrong. Like people hear my style and they would swear I listen to nothing but dubstep. Like I don't listen to dubstep like at all.
Yeah.
Like
You
legit.
like Kendrick?
I don't.
like
I
Kendrick?
freaking love Kendrick.
I like Kendrick.
Like legit.
But there we go.
Exactly. Like we gonna be all right. But like what's crazy is I feel like for me personally, like when I first started, I was making noises since I was like 7. So if, like, and I was making like random beats since I was like 7. Yeah. So like if I wanted to, I could say I've been doing it for a decade, but I don't really consider it to be beatboxing until I actually decided to take it seriously. You know?
Right.
But like, for instance, like the way I would do something is I would hear a sound, and then I would, especially with the music that I was into at the time when I first started, was basically all EDM. So I heard a lot of electronic sounds that a lot of people might say that's a lot harder for human beings to try to replicate. But basically what I would do is, if I couldn't get it exactly, I would figure out something that was relatively close, and then I try to layer something on top of it with one way or another, kind of making my own kind of sound to maybe pretend to be the sound that I'm trying to mimic. And with like now, when I have a lot more control over my sounds, that has allowed me to do things like, say, if I wanted to do, I say several different types of like dubstep bass leads, I guess you can kind of say. So if I was to go yeah. That's one. Then I was like, how can I make that sound a bit more like rough and whatnot? So what I would do simultaneously, I actually showed this to Kenny at American Champs. I would train, it took me a while to learn this. I would train my body so I could do it and kind of change the tone between my nose and my mouth at the same time. So to create a tone that kind of goes like, instead of going, it's, and you learn how to add textures to sounds, even if you can't necessarily replicate the sound exactly. You learn how to like different textures and such stuff. And even when I had first talked to Hershe about scratching, because I was like never really good at scratching, I realized that maybe I'm not that great at vocal scratching, maybe other kind of like, I guess, fundamentals or things that are kind of like scratching I can maybe work on. So that's when I kind of learned the
Yeah.
like I just learned that like a
Oh.
week or two ago. Like I'm like, yo, legit. Like listen,
Yeah.
people don't listen as much as they maybe used to things that aren't beatboxing. So like legit.
Yeah, I think
Listen to some music or just literally what's actually really cool is go on YouTube and just look up freaking sound effects. Like legit, because people, even though
Exactly.
beatboxing is a very music, like is great for musical tool, as a musical tool as well. We can also like imitate a lot of stuff.
definitely.
Like if I wanted
That's-
to, I could imitate a freaking elephant, like a
Jesus
bird
Christ.
or whatever. You know,
And, like,
you can do stuff. Freaking
talking
fire
about
with the dog bark. Oh my god.
And you know what? And you know what? Not only is it cool from a creative standpoint, but again, if a beatboxer learns how to do different sounds, like everyday sounds, like for example, I was doing the improv theater thing with this group, that knowledge of everyday sound came really handy when it came time to perform with them. And so what happened was that knowing those everyday sounds opened up a working opportunity and a money making opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And so
Like
you know,
it's basically it's okay to be weird and maybe try to do stuff that isn't necessarily what you would put in a song because you might find a good use for it.
yeah.
Like,
But then again, you could maybe take those, for example, maybe you could take those sounds and make a story, like a vocal sound story kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that I guess, and this might be a little bit controversial, but beatboxing can lend itself to more than just music. You know, maybe sticking to just music can kind of be limiting to what we can do and to what the art form can be. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where we need to I guess be as diverse as possible in terms of how we use our sounds or how we use our skills to do different things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like one of the best ways to test that is if you have a sound that you wouldn't necessarily do in a beat, and it sounds like an everyday sound, like say like maybe an animal or some sound effect or whatever. Do that in public and try to hide the fact that you're doing it, and look for reactions. It's a great thing to do. Like for instance, I can do this. I would do that. And I'm just like, sorry. I would do that, and people are like, "Oh, is there a bird in here?" I'm like, "Ha, see, I'm getting better at this." And it's just like, it's like just little cool things you might be able to do and whatnot. But yeah, just work on your sound palette. You know, even if it's not necessarily something musical. But yeah.
Definitely. I wanted to close out the statement of like diversity in beatboxing with another thing that I wanted to mention was that I didn't know that the beatbox shootout, I believe it is part of an a cappella festival that's held somewhere in Europe. And I actually think that that's kind of cool in terms of using a specific medium, which in this case is music, a very specific type of music, which is a cappella, and then put beatboxing on that platform. You know, that is another example of how you can start to, I guess, mix and match similar art forms together, you know, and create other things. And also, I just wanted to put that out there. You know, I didn't know that little detail.
Yeah, it's freaking lit. So, and the moral of the story is, if you want to do stuff, freaking learn stuff. If you want to learn stuff, experiment with stuff. If you experiment with stuff, you'll find stuff. Ooh, nuggets of knowledge from the Negro from New Jersey.
Oh wow!
So we're gonna.
Yes,
I'm the solitary Negro.
Oh.
Yes, I'm the one and only.
I was gonna say.
But yeah, it was lit. You know, this is actually this is ready to this is ready to wrap this up. You know,
Yeah, I'm
this was
literally in
lit,
my bed right now.
my boy. But yeah, in a
So,
nutshell, just
naked as fuck.
a quick you know, a popcorn version of this. You know, All Star Battle, so Swiss Beatbox. Freaking watch it. It was great. Alexinho won. He freaking destroyed it. It was crazy. It was him versus BR in the final. Both did great, but Alexinho was the savage.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's pretty much it. Like legit, it's pretty much it. Like,
There's not much you can say about that.
and there's no disrespect to BR, but like Alexinho owned the stage. It's like he took candy from a baby, and then took the baby from its mother.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be disrespectful.
Wow.
BR's amazing, but Alexina
Exactly.
was just amazing her. That's all.
Or at the very least at that time, like at that particular performance, Alexinho did better.
Yeah, I mean, the thing of when you get to a certain level at anything is that it's not even a matter of you know who's better definitively. It's sometimes it comes down to you know a specific round or for that day. Because I mean we're talking about two really amazing beatboxers that pretty much could beat each other any day of the week. You know?
Exactly. Like in the words of like Villain, for remember he was talking. He said this on he said this on Facebook, 2015 America Champs. He was like, it all comes down to who brings it that day. Like legit. That's all it comes down to is whoever brings it that day, that moment. If you only have one chance, one shot, would you capture it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know, and that speaks to this whole issue of I guess taking it too seriously in the sense of like because there's a lot of variables that maybe you don't control might mess you up that day from the sound, the mic, maybe you were sick, whatever. So I think that's important to I guess recognize, you know.
Exactly.
But for me, I really enjoyed it. I love the fact that showcasing is more and more a part of culture and part of events and all these things. And so that is very cool, especially for me because I'm showcasing guys. So I think that's
Exactly, and showcasing is freaking great. So is battling, but you know, showcasing is I just enjoy also watching showcases at times even more than some battles. But yeah, this was a nice like I like this podcast. It was lit. I freaking love all of you guys.
Yeah,
And
dude.
like
This is I'm enjoying these a lot.
like legit. I hope to have y'all back. You know, Oso's probably gonna be becoming a regular on these because he's a freaking legend.
Yeah, man, I like podcasts, man. It's fun. I
lit.
would be honored to be a regular, sir.
Yeah.
Boom.
Podcast.
Yeah, you know, Caleb, I work with you on the Mega Beatbox. Going to be here for a while.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah,
you know,
man, it's lit.
thank
Also,
you guys for coming.
You know, just as we're closing, everybody, you know, if you want to say anything, like tag people or say anything, also read an heavy set. If you want to just tell people where you at, my boy, what are you doing?
Yeah, what's that? You good?
Oh,
I
I
think
didn't
he
realize.
died.
I didn't realize that was me. Yo, it was like between my neck and my like massive double chin, and then my fucking titty.
The dude put his phone in the Grand Canyon, and we just heard the wind blow through.
I thought you just slipped into a coma and straight up died.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, you
yeah.
can hit me up at it's at OSOBBX, OSOBBX.
You know,
at Instagram.
last post on Instagram was 25 weeks ago. Don't ask me why I know that.
What's up? Yeah, I'm gonna start posting more. I start.
Also,
followers.
if you guys want to sign something really interesting, freaking find Oso's old YouTube channel where he would upload things. Like his 2013 American Champs wild card I recently saw today.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You want to see some vintage Oso? Go look that up. I think the YouTube channel is like Brock something.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hershe, you got anything you want to plug?
I'm here.
What? Hershe.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I was saying, I was saying, do you have anything to plug?
Oh, do I have anything to plug? I just heard plug. I was like, okay. The fuck?
Anal. What?
Do we have an
Like
outlet?
hair plug?
Anal.
Anal, right? Anal plug.
I heard.
Well, nothing goes up there. That's a one-way street. So
Lord have mercy.
that goes. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Christ.
That's exactly what I fucking think of every time. Everyone's like, "Oh, do anal?" It's like, no, not at all.
Somebody
Not
got a
even
golden
close.
ticket. You'll get that later.
Oh, is there anything I want to say? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, and you want to plug any like
Oh,
yeah, like your Instagram,
shout
Facebook,
out
you know,
Boston Beatbox. Y'all
True.
can follow me at Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at DJ Hershe. Got my SoundCloud. I am a DJ and a beatboxer. And if you want to follow me on YouTube, it's actually Hershe TV, Hershe, no Y, pronouns.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Hershe without the Y, bitches.
Oh, bitches.
Get your chocolate yum selves out of here, boy. Drop that Y. Dear God, we need to end this.
Yeah,
Edgar,
we need to end this.
Edgar.
Yeah, I'm
you're-
drinking a little bit too much, and I can't keep continuing on good faith with this.
Yeah, so
Edgar, what are your closing?
Well, people, you can find me also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I got my SoundCloud, my YouTube channel. It is Black Rhythm, pretty much on every social media. And also, you can follow my band L5 also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's L5, yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess you can follow me on Instagram. It's at CTBBX. You follow me on Facebook. Just look up CTB. You know, I somehow was able to get that username. And YouTube is also just CTB. You know.
If you mind me asking, why CTV?
Because I'm really basic, and my name is Caleb Titus. So the B is just Beatbox because I'm freaking
Oh.
basic.
Fuck it. No,
Exactly.
fucking do it. Whatever.
And if you want to watch my first video and cringe, you know, maybe
Yeah.
but you know, that's what it is. Also, you know, if you guys want business cards made, I might be able to hook you up, you know, because I make some pretty good business cards.
Yes. Do it. People, do it.
But yeah,
I got mine, and everybody's. So.
This was lit, you know. I'm gonna be signing off now, you know. Everybody check out everybody's links will be in the description and whatnot. And yeah, so everybody, just thank you for joining. And yeah, we will see you next time on the North American Beatbox Podcast.